Hello everyone. We just wanted to provide a quick update today, but today's going to be a little different. It's not going to just be a rundown of ministry. We came up with just some different questions that we want to answer to give you, the subscriber or supporter or person who prays for us, just a little better insight into how things are going. And so we just have a few questions we're going to answer. So we'll jump right into that.
So question number 1 is, what have we been learning in ministry lately?
Yeah. For me, I think the thing I'm learning the most right now is in Tomamina. That's our community with very few believers, two people who have professed faith in Jesus, but it's just still really heavy into sacrificing to idols and just witchcraft and just a lot of stuff like that. And we run into a lot of obstacles there. It's just like anything we plan gets ruined somehow, some way. And so just seeing the impact that prayer has on a community like that prayer has on church planting ministry in general, that's been really eye-opening. Because lately, when we have taken the time to stop and pray, all of a sudden we have been able to have our meetings and people have been showing up and there haven't been as many excuses for them not to come, things like that.
For me, I would say just the impact that intercession has on ministry, kind of going hand in hand with prayer. I have been interceding a lot when we go into the villages. A lot of times we are going house to house, or most of the time, we're really trying to disciple the believers that are in the village. But the problem is I can't speak Spanish very well. And so instead of just kind of beating myself up about that and then just being really internal in ministry and not participating as much as I would like to, I've been interceding a lot more. And it has been really cool to see the Lord use that, even when I don't fully understand, like if it's really doing anything or whatever. There's been days where we've left the village and Cal's been like, yeah, this was a really good conversation. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm glad I was praying and that God was using my prayers, even though I wasn't the one up front doing the ministry that Cal or Arnold or other people are doing. So that's been an encouragement and something I've been learning lately. Question number 2. What has been challenging for you in the Dominican so far?
Yeah, I think for me, probably the biggest thing is just different cultural things where it feels like it takes more time to live even. Like just things are not as efficient or as productive as we're used to in the US. So just something as simple as you can't drink the water here, so we have to order like big bottles of drinking water, and I'll order it and it'll be delivered sometime that day, but you don't really know when. There is no like schedule at this time it's gonna come, and so it kind of just feels like you have to wait around until it finally does come. So yeah, just little things like that, or there really is no one store to go to here where you can just get everything. So it's not just go to Walmart and get everything you need. It's kind of, you go to the market for fruit and you go to this store for produce and noodles and you go to this store for sauce and stuff like that. It's just very scattered and just takes a lot more time to do things. So you just find normal everyday living takes a lot more time and is a lot less efficient. Loudspeaker ads rolling through the streets of the Dominican, that's a staple here as well.
I would say a challenge for me has been definitely learning Spanish. It has been very discouraging at times to be studying and be trying to improve and to learn, and then going to the village or going to talk to someone that does know Spanish and then feeling like, oh wow, did I learn anything yesterday? Did I learn anything today? Like I don't even know what to say. I am improving, but that's been a very hard process for me because I naturally love to talk. I love to engage socially. I love to socialize, and so I've definitely have been humbled by the Lord in this season in that way for sure. And then I would say another thing has been just as we've done things medically for Willoughby, kind kind of what Cal was saying, things just take a little bit extra time, a lot more steps involved. So that's been hard at times, but the Lord has been faithful in that. So that's been a huge blessing as well. Number 3, what has been an unexpected joy?
Yeah, I think for me, an unexpected joy in all the countries that I've been to, it's really hard to find quality beef. And I love beef. I love eating beef in the U.S. Like steaks, burgers. I just love beef. I don't know. And so we were able to get put in contact with a butcher here who actually has decent beef. And so that's been an unexpected joy, just having, I mean, I'm not saying it's U.S. quality, but it's a lot better beef than I've had overseas before. So that's been really nice lately.
I would say an unexpected joy has been because we have access to less things grocery-wise. I have been a lot more creative in the kitchen, like baking and cooking different things and trying to be innovative with the things that we do have to make things that are like still like really cool and tasty. So I've been baking a lot more, baking bread and experimenting. It's been super fun. It's been a very unexpected joy because I feel like a lot of times when you have to cook, it's like, ugh, I don't want to cook, but I've actually really enjoyed it, and I've really enjoyed just the creations and the process, so that's been fun. Number 4, and our last question, do you feel like you are accomplishing what you are there to accomplish here in India?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like we're accomplishing what we set out to do here. We've been learning a lot from Miguel and Kristen and their family, and Arwam and Coney and Franci, Noki, Santo, everyone involved with the ministry we've learned a lot from, and just definitely grateful for the time they've taken to teach us the church planning model and just allow us to be a part of the ministry and learn a lot of different things from them. I think from that standpoint of learning the strategy and different things like that to take to Colombia, to the rural areas of Colombia, I couldn't ask for more in that regard. I can't speak for Courtney, but I would definitely say that. I feel like my Spanish has definitely improved to where I'm not saying it wouldn't be a struggle at times, but I would feel comfortable going to Colombia today. And I mean, I think we could make it work for sure. And then just learning the church planning model and being in it every single day, I definitely am super happy with where that is. Very grateful to Miguel, and something I'm learning from Miguel too is just he's willing to let people try things they don't necessarily know how to do. So he's thrown me into some different things that I've never done before, but just giving me opportunities to learn the church planning model by doing it, and making contact with pastors and just different stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, to wrap it up, I mean, I feel like we're accomplishing everything we could possibly hope to accomplish, and I'm definitely just grateful that the Lord is just opening doors to set us up well for Colombia.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think something that has been a huge blessing in all of this has been honestly just figuring out what it looks like to be a mom in ministry overseas, because I think if we would have gone straight to Colombia and that would have been like us doing it on our own, I would have been shocked with how much time she requires out of me. Like, you think like as a mom it's like, oh, like of course your child like takes time from you, but I have only done ministry overseas without children prior to this, and so this has been,
And without a husband.
yeah, and without a husband actually, so that's kind of fun too. But it's a lot more complicated. It's definitely not easy, but it's worth it. And so it's just learning how to go at the pace of your child, how to use your child in ministry, but how not to push them too far. Just the balance of everything, which honestly I'm still very much learning. And there are a lot of hard days, but I'm glad I'm learning and figuring it out now instead of when we're on our own there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so those are just some quick questions we wanted to answer. If you watched this video and made it to the end here, if you have any questions that you would like to know the answer to, or that you've been thinking about in terms of what we're doing here, please comment, and we'll definitely either make another video to answer those questions or just comment on your question with the answer. And yeah, just let us know if there's anything that we can answer for you.
Yes. See you next